Welcome back to Gmail 10 Essential Tips. This is tip number 2, selecting an inbox style. We'll look at your default categories and also how to use the priority inbox. It really depends on how much mail you're getting. And at the end of this webinar, you may have a very clean inbox where you only get purposeful emails for work related tasks. And if that's the case, the priority inbox will be your choice. However, we'll go to our quick settings and we'll take a look at your default inbox and the priority inbox and show you how to switch and then determine which one it works best for you. Before we go to the actual inbox, I'll just highlight the fact that default inbox has categories. And at the top of your screen, you will see primary, which is your important email, one-to-one emails you get from colleagues and friends that are personal and are important to you. The other tabs, social, will contain any emails that come from updates such as YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or Neighborhood Hub or LinkedIn. Any of those updates that you get will appear and get bucketed under social. Promotions include things like, let's say you went shopping at Coldwater Creek. Well, you shopped there one time and now you're getting a daily email from them. So we'll take a look at how to make that not happen anymore. But in the meantime, those will end up in promotions. And updates contain things like a bill that is due, electric bill, a mortgage, maybe a pay stub, Amazon shipping updates, and airline reminders, etc. So you've got different buckets. And if you have a ginormous amount of mail from all of these areas, well, default categories is the way to go. This is a great way to handle your email. It's a very popular inbox option for personal Gmail because it's personal Gmail that tends to have all of these things. However, you could have this with work related email as well. However, I will show you how to get rid of some of this unwanted email and then maybe have just a more purposeful work related inbox where priority inbox would work best. Now, when you priority inbox is actually quite an old option. It's not a new feature from Google, but it is underutilized. And if you use it properly, it can really help you with your time management because we tend to spend more time in our email inbox than we really should, and we're not as productive as we should be. Priority inbox is a great way to manage productivity as well as your communication in Gmail. So what it does is it sets up your inbox in one screen. As you see here, your mail comes in, your important and unread will show up at the top. Just like in primary, one-to-one conversations, emails that are coming to you directly from friends and colleagues, those will show up as at the top. If it comes in and it's unread, but it's just spam or a social media update or an advertisement, it will show at the very bottom under everything else. And in the middle is something you can modify. It's called starred. So if you star an email, it'll show up in the middle. And I'll show you how I use this to prioritize my work. So again, you've got your categories for a ginormous amount of email and priority inbox if you really get good and savvy with inbox zero. So hopping over to categories, just a quick tip for that. When you're in category view, for example, when you're working in primary, there's no social updates, but I can see here that there's a promotional update and it's from Lindt Chocolate. And then there's an update over here, an update. So I can go and look at it, but I can choose not to as well. Now, let's say that you have an email in one of these areas. I'll use Yankee Candle as an example. If Yankee Candle, which is a promotional email, shows up in your primary, you have the option to move it to promotions. And then it will ask you, do you want all future messages to show up in promotions? And I can select yes. So that's your tip for categories. Your second tip for categories is you don't have to have them all. So if you want to turn off social and have those show up in a different bucket, you can go ahead to your settings under quick settings, scroll down to your inbox type, which is set as default, select customize, and you can turn off and on certain things. So I'm going to turn off updates. and just show you what happens when I turn off one of my features. So I click on save, updates is gone, and now my primary is chock full of updates and my primary, which that's problematic. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to scroll down to my, and I'm going to customize, and I'm going to include updates as a bucket so that my inbox, my primary, doesn't get flooded with things that really belong in updates. All right. So that's one email inbox. The second is priority. We're going to take a quick look at that. This inbox is a work related inbox, but when I click on promotion, there's only one thing there. I click on social, there's one thing there. And when I go to updates, a couple of things. This, I'm going to switch to priority inbox. So I'm going to click on settings, quick settings, scroll down, and I'm going to just turn on priority inbox. And it's the default priority inbox that I work with. And I'm going to close all of them up so you're not seeing the email. As I showed you in the slide, you have important and unread. Those are two messages that came in. They're important because they're coming to me from specific people. They're part of a conversation I'm having with real people, not a flyer and not a social media update, and they're unread. Okay. I'm going to unstar that because it shouldn't be starred right now. The second thing I'm going to look at is everything else. So everything else contains things that they could be important that I've read. So this might have come in as important, but I read it. Okay. And then there's other things that came in that are not important, such as an advertisement from Vistaprint and it's unread. So that's everything else. And then what's in the middle is starred. Starred are emails I've read, but I want to keep them right in my inbox. They're important, but I don't need to act on them this minute. I look at these every day to see, is there anything I can act upon right now? And if not, I keep them there because there are things I'm not quite ready to get rid of. So I look at them and I think, no, I'm gonna hang on to these. But hey, maybe I can order those hats and vests that I see here. If I do, I'll be able to open this email, finish up the project, and archive it so it's no longer in starred. So starred are my things to do. So what do I do with this inbox? Well, let's say that I've read this email, I open it up, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Oh, I'm going to have to follow up with her next week. I could snooze this, but there's something I might want to work on this week. So I'm going to star it. And then if I refresh my email or the next time I go into my inbox, that message that I read will end up in starred. Okay. So important and unread, starred, and everything else. And then we'll get into, how you can just delete. If I wanted to delete these now, I could just select them and delete them. And then I might need this, I might not. My goal is always at the end of the day that this is going to be empty up at the very top. And then whatever I see here under important and unread, the morning I get into work, those are the things I need to look at and say, do I need to act on this right now? Priority inbox allows me to maintain sanity and it keeps me from being in my email inbox any longer than I need to be so that I can focus on other tasks. So in the next video, we're going to take a look at using the hover tools to help you achieve inbox zero.